Good morning. I wanted to talk a little bit about where I am now and give you an update. We are now in week 3 of the cybersecurity bootcamp that I'm doing. This week has been a little overwhelming for me with a non-technical background. We've been covering networking. We've been exploring some cool things, and I've felt like I've been learning a lot and still loving it. I wanted to also talk briefly in these short videos about why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. I want to talk about the life changes that I've decided to make. So I said in the episode before that I spent the last year in Kenya, where I spent the year with the woman that I married and had a wonderful time. We kind of went down the pathway of deciding to emigrate to New Zealand, where I was born, which was a long, difficult journey, but we're here now. So I arrived in Kenya in April of 22. We started the immigration process in August, and we flew home to New Zealand on the 22nd of April. So it took a long time to get the visa sorted out. But here we are, we're in New Zealand now. Obviously I'm pursuing the cybersecurity bootcamp that I'm doing, and that was due to me deciding, obviously, to change careers. But the reason that led to my decision to change careers was that the lifestyle that I was leading, I felt, was unhealthy and was going to eventually lead to health problems for me. I was a technical director in the US for my career. I graduated from my master's program in 2009, so I've been doing it ever since. What that meant was that I was in charge of engineering the scenery and overseeing the building of it and installation and maintenance, and then once the show was finished, the strike. The stress and the workload were very high, and I would often work 60, 80, 100-hour work weeks for not a lot of money. So once I got to Kenya and married my wife, I realized that the decisions that I had been making were unhealthy to deal with the stress, and that the lifestyle that I had been leading wasn't sustainable and wasn't fulfilling me in the way that I wanted my life to turn out. I realized as soon as I had met my wife in the US that I was using alcohol as a coping mechanism to manage the stress, and was drinking incredibly way too much and not to enjoy, just to escape reality. So as soon as I met my wife, I quit drinking, and that started a thought process that I needed to change my lifestyle. Once I'd spent some time in Kenya with my wife, I decided to pursue a career that would enable us to move from place to place, and that was more money than my career in the theater had been. I spent a good part of a year trying to figure out what that was, had sort of settled on coding as that path, but when we got to New Zealand, and with the advent of AI, I decided that cybersecurity would be a better path to pursue, that has good remuneration, So I'm pursuing the cybersecurity bootcamp at the moment with obviously the goal to enter the cybersecurity workforce as soon afterwards as I can. I'm hoping that it will enable me to have a career that we can pick up from New Zealand to Kenya and back again, and maybe the States, who knows. As part of looking at what I want to do, I've been thinking heavily, or we've been thinking heavily about life choices and just looking after myself. I've decided that it's time for me to get my weight under control. The theater lifestyle that I led was very constricted by time schedules, so I would eat at certain times of the day regardless of whether I was hungry, just because it was time to eat, because it would be the only chance I'd get. So now I have gone down to eating one meal a day, just dinner, and about a week ago decided to start exercising. So I've started running, and